Hi everyone, we are from Group 5. We are going to present about the mitochondrial disease. So for the first one, the definitions of mitochondria. Mitochondria are an organelle in cytoplasm that responsible to produce energy in our body to function properly or energy factory in our body. As we all know, the mitochondria jobs are to process oxygen and convert substance from the food into the energy that we will use. So the next one, mitochondrial disease are disease that occur when the mitochondria fail to produce enough energy for the body to function properly. Mitochondrial disease can affect almost any part of the body, including the cell of the brain, nerve, muscle, kidney, heart, liver, eyes, ears, or pancreas. Example of the mitochondrial disease are the first one, Leber hereditary optic neuropathy, LHON. This is the most common inherited mitochondrial disorder which affect young males. It is typically begin as a unilateral progressive optic neuropathy with sequential involvement of the fellow eyes month 2 years later. The second one is the diabetes and deafness, DAD. This is actually one of the subtype of the diabetes which is caused from a point mutation at position 3243 in human mitochondrial DNA, which consists of a circular genome. This disease is inherited from the maternal family member only. Moving to the cause of the mitochondrial disease, this is a primary mitochondrial disease, which is a genetic condition that can be inherited, passed from the parent to their children in a several way. It caused by the inherited mutation in either. The first one is mitochondrial DNA, and the second one is nuclear DNA. For the mitochondrial DNA, is usually occur in maternal inheritance, as the female can pass on the mitochondrial mutation to their children. This is because the mitochondrial DNA are derived from the ovum. So only a mother carrying a mitochondrial DNA mutation will pass it to all of her children, including the males and females. The second one, which is the nuclear DNA, the first one is autosomal dominant inheritance. Here, one mutated copy of the responsible gene in each cell is enough to cause sign or symptom of the condition. These children receive one mutated copy of a gene from either parent. So there is a 50% chance that each children in the family will inherit a mitochondrial disease. In autosomal recessive inheritance, it must have a change in both copies of the responsible gene in each cell. And then these children receive only one mutated copy of a gene from each parent. So usually in this recessive inheritance, both parents are actually a carrier. There will be a 25 chance that each children in the family will inherit a mitochondrial disease. So the third one, random mutations, is actually a gene that the third one is actually a gene that develop a mutations of their own that is not inherited from a parent. The fourth one, the last one, is X-linked inheritance, which is consists of X-linked dominant or X-linked recessive. This is a mutated gene that causes the condition that is located on the X chromosome. As you can see from the figure, for the woman with an X-linked dominant condition will have 50% of chance of passing the condition on to a son or daughter with each pregnancy, while men with X-linked dominant condition will pass the condition on to all of their daughter and none of their son. For the X-linked recessive inheritance, the gene on the X chromosome causes the condition in men with one gene mutation because men only have one X chromosome, and in female with two gene mutations because they have two X chromosome. So a woman with X-linked recessive condition will receive a mutation, will pass the mutation onto the all of her son and daughter. So this means that all of her son will have a condition and all her daughter will be a carrier, while a man with X-linked recessive condition will pass the mutation to all of his daughter, which will become a carrier and none to his son. So for the next one, or symptom?
Alright, so next I will be presenting on the symptoms, diagnosis, um, and also treatment that can be applied for the mitochondrial disease. So as we can see here, there are many symptoms of this disease and it can range from mild to severe. So some of the example of the symptoms are muscle weakness, neurological problem, shortness of breath. So first is muscle weakness is where the muscles are not able to move easily and they'll have lack of strength and the muscle will start to wear out very quickly. So the person who are actually suffering from this disease, they will easily feel tired or either fatigue. And then nextly is the neurological problem. So in this neurological problem, it causes changes to the function of the brain, spines, or either the nerves. And usually people with this neurological problem will suffer further from seizure, dementia, and also sclerosis. And the third will be shortness of breath, where the patient will have difficulty in breathing. Because as we know, mitochondria is actually the powerhouse for the cells where they pump energy or allocate or provide energy for respective cells. So the mitochondria itself is having genetic mutation here. So the people who are suffering from this disease, they will have shortness of breath and then lack of energy because the required cells they do not have enough amount of energy. So another visible symptom of this disease will be ophthalmoplegia and ptosis, which is the drooping of upper eyelid. So as we can see on the right hand side, the boy's eyelid, one is actually wide open, another one is dropping. So this is not open, that will be drooping upper eyelid. So one of the visible symptoms of this disease. All right, so nextly will be how to diagnose that a patient is actually suffering from this disease. So the method to diagnose is two. One is genetic testing, one more is non-genetic testing. So genetic testing can be said as the most reliable method to diagnose and categorize this mitochondrial disease. And usually genetic testing, they will begin with first analyzing the mitochondrial DNA. And if let's say the results it shows negative, then they will proceed to test the nuclear DNA for the genes responsible in causing this disease. And if let's say the result it shows negative again, and then they will completely analyze through the whole exome sequencing. And then the other way will be non-genetic testing. So example, we have biochemical testing on the urine, blood, spinal fluid, and then we have muscle biopsy. So usually this muscle biopsy is used when genetic testing cannot confirm the disease. So they will opt for muscle biopsy. So to simplify the method, first it involves removing a small sample of muscle tissue in order to examine. And then they will treat the muscle tissue with the dye that can actually stain the mitochondria. And muscles which are affected with this disease, they will show red fiber. And the third one is the MRI scan of brain and spine. All right, so moving on to the treatment, there are no actually specific cure or vaccines which are available in order to cure or in order to treat this disease because until now the cause of mitochondrial mutation is still unknown. So it's quite challenging for all the scientists to come up with a specific cure for this mitochondrial disease. So for now, it can only be treated by taking vitamins or supplements, going for physiotherapy, specific diet, exercising, and also conserving energy. So conserving energy meaning we have to save as much energy as we can. And when we are doing exercise also, we should go for the mild one and not the vigorous activity. And we should learn how to pace ourselves and not to do too much of activity or too much of exercising in a short period of time because our health the energy that we have itself is little. So yeah, that's it. And this treatment can just reduce the symptoms and or either they can slow or deteriorate, slowing the deterioration of the health, not to cure completely but then just to slow down the symptoms. All right, so next will be a short video on the mitochondrial disease.
When you try your best but you don't succeed, When you get what you want but not what you need. When you feel so tired but you can't sleep. Stuck in rivers, and the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone but it goes to waste. Could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. And high up above or down below, when you're too in love to let it go. But if you never try, you'll never know just what you were. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones.
All right, so that's all from us. If there's any question, please do feel free to ask. Thank you.